So now that you've spent some time exploring whether you think certain organisms are living or non-living, let's get into the nitty-gritty, right? All living things share 6 characteristics. If you have all 6 things, you're alive. If you're missing at least even just one, you're not living, okay? And those 6 characteristics that biologists live are: it's made of cells, it uses and needs energy, it's able to adapt to its surroundings, it reacts to changes, it can reproduce, and it can grow and develop. So let's look a little more in depth about each of these. So all living things have these 6 characteristics. Like I said, if they're missing even one of these, it's non-living. And living things are called organisms. We're going to be using that word a lot from now on. So if it's a living thing, we're going to call it an organism. Okay. So the first thing all living things have in common is they're all made of cells. A cell is like the basic building block that all life is made of. So organisms are usually made up of more than one cell. Me and you are made up of trillions of cells. A cell is the basic unit of structure and function in living things. Cells are the building blocks of life. Living things also need and use energy, right? A rock doesn't need energy or use energy. It's not living, but a living thing needs energy. So all organisms need and use energy to live, and energy is the ability to do work. So the ability to walk, to move, to eat, to digest. Sunlight is the main source of energy for most living things. Mostly plants use the energy in sunlight to make food, and animals get their energy by eating plants or other animals that have eaten plants, right? So if I eat something, if I eat a cow, that cow ate grass. So the grass got its energy from the sun, the cow got its energy from the grass, and I got my energy from the cow. So really, I got my energy from the sun. All energy on Earth comes from the sun. Living things also are able to adapt to their surroundings. Organisms are adapted or suited to their surroundings. So in other words, they're able to kind of change themselves to fit better with their surroundings, right? All organisms have features that help them survive in their surroundings. For example, fish have gills. Elephants have those long trunks. All organisms have different abilities to survive in their surroundings. Now, a rock or a desk, if their surroundings change, is it going to be able to change? No, it's not living. It can't change. It can't adapt to its surroundings, but living things can. Living things are also able to react to changes. Organisms react to changes in their surroundings. Any reaction to change is called a response. For example, a bright light might cause you to blink. When you're hungry, your stomach's going to growl. When you're hurt, you might limp. When you're cold, you're going to shiver. So living things react to changes. Non-living things, the world can change around them. They're not going to change, right? Living things can also reproduce, right? Organisms produce more organisms of their own kind. They have babies. Reproduction allows organisms to continue living on the earth. A non-living thing cannot reproduce. A rock can't magically produce more rocks. I mean, you can cut a rock in half and turn one rock into 2 rocks, but it's not like it made a new rock, right? But living things can make new living things. So living things can reproduce. Living things can also grow and develop. All organisms grow and develop. Here we have a tadpole turning into a frog. Living things change or develop during their lifetimes. One way organisms change is by growing. You guys are all growing right now. So you are growing and developing into adults. Living things may also change in appearance, right? So tadpoles can change into frogs. So in summary, biologists use 6 characteristics to classify something as living. If it's made of cells, if it uses and needs energy, if it's able to adapt to its surroundings and react to changes, if it's able to reproduce, if it's able to grow and develop, that means it's alive. If it's missing just one of these, it's not living. All right, all living things display all of the above characteristics.